5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
BOMBZQUAD.com.
Every day I'm hustling.
All the guys want. I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You done bust your ass like Mayweather. I was trying to fight every fighter. I sacrificed a lot
Productions.
to get to where I got to.
What do you bring to the table?
Let's get this on. Let's do it. Well, it's like this. Wait.
All right, that's it. Hold on. Bernard, everybody calm down.
Man, you know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I sacrificed a lot.
BOMBZQUAD.com.
To get to where I got to.
BOMBZQUAD.com. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio Sunday evening crow edition where we serve up all the crow. Looks like people ain't show up to collect their crow. You know, nobody likes when they get it wrong. But I'm here, and I definitely got it wrong. I didn't think Gary would lose. I didn't want to believe the shoulder injury. I thought it was pre-fight hype. You know, I thought it was a way for him to show us how great he is. You know, tell us he has an injury, still get the win, and look even better. But that isn't the case. That isn't the case. Unfortunately, Gary Russell lost, and he loses one of the title of one of the longest reigning defending champions. You know, Gary, he could have gone on to do great things if given the opportunity. I believe you see the skill set, but he was plagued in his career with not being able to get the big fight. And I know I'm talking like his career is over, but I really think that it might be. And I don't mean that in a, mean standpoint. I just feel like at this age, 33, 34, no belt, no rematch, shoulder injury, that's a lot. That is a lot to deal with and a lot to come back from. So it's interesting. It's interesting, you know. It was a good fight. Gary came out and expressed himself vocally, verbally, saying that he felt he won the fight 10-2. You know, there's a lot of people that felt Gary won. I seen a lot of that in the live chat yesterday while we were doing the live fight chat. I've seen a lot of people, saying that Gary did enough to win, even with one hand, that it was a robbery when it was announced. But Gary Russell upset by Manny Pacquiao's mark Magnifico, Magsayo, and Devin Haney calls Gary, or rather Magsayo, a bum. He says Gary lost to a bum. Yo, these fighters, they don't give you a break, man. Even when you lose, they on your heels. They making sure you know how they feel. They making sure you know that this ain't your time of mourning. This is the time for people to make jokes at you. It's very difficult in this sport, man. You got to be careful. You can't really suffer a loss. These guys will make you pay in a fast way. that happened to Teofimo. You know, he talked that talk, and then boom. You know, he suffered that loss, and the world turned on him. You know, the world turned on him, and they were definitely letting Tio hear their cries, right? And I think Tio got it because he was so heavy with the Undisputed, and he was so bent on not giving Haney a shot. That really rubbed people the wrong way. And, you know, when he lost, he got a taste of his bad guy medicine. You know, no one really cared what his worries or woes were, right? After the fight, he tried to come out and say the same thing. Oh, I had an injury. Unlike Gary, who said it before the fight. And that's why I think Gary said it, because when you say it before the fight, we're looking for it and we're looking to see if it's true. You know, we're looking to see any inconveniences you might have to be like, oh, there it is. It's a shoulder injury, which obviously was visible in the Gary Russell fight with Magsayo. And I think that's why it was a good thing that he said something from the beginning, you know, letting us know what to look for and letting us know that he was injured. Because when we seen it, it was no surprise. It was unfortunate. I was taken back. I couldn't believe that he wasn't lying. I thought it was pre-fight hype. I thought it was a way to build up the fight. So then, you know, and that's probably why I'm biased. You know, I thought Gary won. But again, I was picking Gary. Then in the middle of the fight, I realized, oh, shit, he really has an injury. So now I'm more in awe of Gary. I'm like, wow, he's doing all of this with an injury. He's looking this good with an injury. I didn't see it the way the judges saw it, unfortunately. And it's even more unfortunate that we only have 17 views, or rather likes. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this live with us right now, the best thing you can do is hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. It's going to force the algorithm to push this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans so that they can find this safe haven, so they know that we talk boxing here 7 days a week with mature men that actually know about the sport, that love to share their knowledge. Speaking of, looks like I've been joined by the king of Essex County, Mr. Amin. What is going on, my friend? How are you?
What's good, Skip? Shout out to the TBV community. Came in here to kick it with y'all. I literally came in from the cold. I said, let me jump into position so I can get here and join the conversation about everything that's going on right now. It's a couple of things I know that's newish, couple of things that's old, so we got to cover it all.
So who do you have winning from the door? Because I'm about to time my man out calling me nasty fibs and shit. I can't understand. Why can't I have my opinion of what I thought I seen? Why can't I be in awe of what Gary was doing with one hand? You know, I admitted from the beginning, maybe I'm biased because of that, because I was in awe of what he was doing with one hand, because he really came into that fight with an injury. Yeah, I looked at him braver. You know, I looked at him like more, you know, just he was more real to me. Like, he was like, oh shit, he really lied. He really has a rotator cuff injury. He really can't lift up his shoulder. He really thinks he's good enough to beat this guy with one hand. All that made me excited. And I guess swayed me slightly. Maybe I'm Gary Russell biased because I like that he tried to be Superman. I don't know. How did you see it?
I'm glad you asked, because I'm usually, you know, I don't want to say anti-Gary Russell, but I can be a bit hard on him. You know what I mean? I be grinding him up a bit. But the truth is, Magsayo did not separate himself, you know, as nothing special. He didn't show us that he had a wounded fucking animal. You know what I'm saying? A wounded deer, like a hunter go out and kill their prey. He didn't do anything, and it speaks to the skill of Russell, but a one-armed fighter, period, is supposed to be, you know, somebody that you can really batter around and knock around, or they're virtually a defenseless, you know, opponent. And they have only their skills. He had only his speed, and he was able to, without a jab. It was some rounds, I didn't even look at the numbers. Maybe he didn't even throw a jab to land one, but he was literally tripling up on straight lefts and moving and getting out the way. So he was catching Magsayo with maybe two, mind you, no jab, just foot placement and movement, two straight lefts, and then getting out the way. And Magsayo's not necessarily landing. So I didn't see Magsayo batter this man or beat the champ in any form or fashion that was distinguishing enough. At best, you know, it should have been a draw, but then that might be my bias talking, because I just in no way saw Magsayo should have beat this man up with one arm. I just didn't see that.
Me neither. I didn't see it. People, you know, they're like, oh, so Gary beat him with one arm? Yeah. He beat him to the punch. He was doubling and tripling the left hand. He kept him at bay without a jab. Like, if anything, I think it was an indictment on Magsayo that seen a man with one arm, seen a man with no jab, and still went 12. You're the alleged puncher. You know, I just didn't get what I was seeing. And for the people that are saying, oh, because he had one arm, he won the fight. Yes. Did you not watch the actual match? Like, I didn't see Magsayo land all these extra punches when the fact is he had an extra hand. He had an extra arm. So, again, the fight was very tight with a guy with one arm. How they gave it to the challenger, I have no clue. I never seen him really hurt Gary. I never seen him really worry Gary. Gary with one hand never got flustered, never got exhausted, and instead the mental pressure was put on by him onto Magsayo. But I got a few super chats. First one coming in from our good friend Majimbe, who says Rigo and Gary were robbed by Sean Gibbons. For those that don't know, Sean Gibbons is the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions. He's the manager of most of Manny Pacquiao's fights, or rather fighters. And he has Casimero, and he has now Mark Magsayo, and he has the other guy, right? The one that beat the top-ranked fighter, Simon James Prince, with the pillow.
Who's that?
The Philippine that beat him, bro.
Oh,
Joshua Greer.
Yeah. He's got him too.
It's so crazy because that Philippine is very popular. When he won that fight, people were screaming his name. Like, we can hear that name. And my live chat was crazy. The Philippines came out for him. But after he won that fight, he disappeared. I'm going to look him up because that's the saddest part. Like, we don't even know who we're talking about because he didn't make a mark. But he did beat Joshua Greer. And I guess we'll find him that way. His name is Mike Plania. Mike did a hell of a job, and then he just disappeared, which is crazy. Mike Plania beat Joshua Greer in 2020. He has one loss, and that was to Juan Carlos Payano, the Dominican former champion. And he does have a fight scheduled in Miami, but it doesn't even say the date or the opponent. It just says TBA. Actually, it does say the date, March 25th. TBA is the opponent. It'll be at the Manuel Airtime Community Center Theater in Miami, which doesn't sound like a big location. He did have his last fight there in the same location versus a dude with 12 straight losses, Ricardo Nunez. So after the big win with Joshua Greer, he's done nothing to capitalize on that. Went back to the Philippines, had a fight in General Santos City, and then he has two fights now. One fight in Miami and another one scheduled in Miami. So didn't really capitalize off his big win. Top Rank didn't sign him off that big win. And he didn't knock out Greer. It was just, a unanimous decision. But it was a good, exciting fight. And a lot of Filipinos came out for him. And I'm just shocked that nothing happened after that. No capitalization, no signage, no anything. Shock.
Yeah, usually when that happens, I smell promotional issues. I smell something because, you don't go up that high. Joshua Greer's been fighting on Top Rank. and then fighting in co-mains and feature fights.
Showtime and Showtime and ESPN. His career has been built on because he was on
so,
Showbox at first when he brought out the pillow.
Yeah, so when you got a win like that, the trajectory's supposed to be up. You're not supposed to be fighting at the rec center. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be fighting at the Hard Rock if you're fighting in Miami. So I'm not really sure what his trajectory is, but it doesn't look like he's got the business thing sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, listen, Magsayo, I thought, everybody thought coming into this fight, the powerful puncher. And let's talk about that because, like I said, he didn't even land maybe in the first round, second round, maybe that one punch he threw that kind of, Gary was, kind of, leaning back. He stumbled back a little bit. That was the one punch I seen that hurt him the entire fight. Again, it's a credit to Russell, but it also says, like, you have to look at some of the things that distinguished Planners win over Greer. Like, he beat Greer up, and Greer didn't have any answers for what he was doing, and that's two-handed. Russell had an answer, and it wasn't, I can't say it wasn't as effective because Magsayo, the pressure, Russell was able to handle it right in front of him. His composure was so on point. So I just, again, my opinion is going to sound crazy, but it looked like a draw at best. A draw at best. He did not beat the champ. And maybe that's an old school way of looking at it, but he did not beat the champ. A one-armed man. He didn't do that.
Yeah, man. I just been sent a video here on some tank news that I'm considering talking about on today's news and notes. I got Matt Bent, 100, Kansas City. He says, I thought Gary won the fight, honestly. And there goes another person, man. Mike Gross, the boss. Shout out to you. Salute and congratulations on the engagement. Mike says salute TBV, but he also came back and said Gary a dog. So not necessarily saying that he feels Gary won, but definitely said Gary got all his respect last night. Defensively, his skills are elite. So if he's saying defensively his skills are elite, he's basically telling you, I didn't see Magsayo hit him. Mr. Magnifico was not magnificent when it comes to landing punches. And I think that's what we all seen. We all seen Gary pivoting amazing. I mean, he just was amazing. He would take one step under my man's underarm and then pivot out. It was beautiful. Like, they really need to use Gary as an example of what pivot should look like. Defensively, even with a fucked up arm, he was lifting that right arm, catching them shots. I don't know what people saw. I think, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say what people are afraid to say. They were just tired of Gary. They had to take it. They had to take it from him because they was tired of him. He wasn't falling in line. Like, you can't just be a champ and hold the belt hostage and then blame everybody else. Like, cool, they don't want to fight you. Fight somebody else. Gennady was fighting dudes we ain't want him to fight, saying he was fighting them because he couldn't fight the ones he wanted. Gary just goes to sleep like a hibernating bear, and I think that the boxing politics, they got tired of that. They got tired of that, man. Yep. 7 years as a champ, and you had like 5 fights. That shit don't make sense.
Yo, it was ridiculous, man. And I think part of what should happen, as a result of this loss, I'm like, Gary need to get hungry, yo, because the comfort in his head is like, yo, I'm the champ. And he had a great confidence. Everybody know Gary Russell was very confident. But for us, it's like you got to support that with activity. You know what I'm saying? The frequency was so off of his bout. So again, all of what we saw could have seen limited by his inactivity. Like if his arm was healthy, that's when you get Gary Russell throwing 3-punch combinations at a minimum. Sometimes 4 and 5-punch combinations if he's much faster than his opponent. We would have been able to see that with 2 healthy arms, but we did not because of the injury. And in a way, he robbed himself of showing us the greatness by maybe being too much of a choosy lover when it came to who he was going to fight. So now you on your way back up. You don't have that much choice, man. So you got to fight. If you're a fighter, You got to fight who's there. You no longer have the comfort of having the belt. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he is made of what we think he is, he a dog and all that, which I totally agree. He need to come back and say, I don't give a fuck who they put me in front of, and I'm actually willing to move up, and I'm gonna move up. That's the important thing.
I'm with you, man. If he comes back and he's talking about moving up, I'm excited all over again. If he comes back trying to fight at 126 again,
he's the Fonz.
I think I'm done. Like, the fight with him and Mr. Magnifico wasn't even all that to be like, yeah, run it back. I want that rematch. I can't wait to see that. Like, that shit wasn't even what it was. So I don't know. I'm telling you, I think the politics that beat got Gary. I think we don't see him no more. I think after, because now you lost. Now you got no belt. Now you got to recover from a rotator cuff is what it looks like. Who's giving you the tune-up fight? I mean, they ain't even want to give Thurman a tune-up fight. Think about it. Thurman's on pay-per-view because they didn't want to pay for the fight. Gary's probably done, bro. He probably
I got a crazy fight at 35. This fight is crazy. Robert Easter.
I guess they can do it, but that is that's definitely tapping into your David and Goliath, little guy, big guy, and sell it as a face-off. That'll be the Canelo Rocky Fielding face-off all over again. I know that. Before you go, I got Mad Bet 100 that says, I saw one guy missing a lot and the pop shooting to victory. Gary won, in my opinion. I agree, man. There was one guy billed as a puncher. He wasn't punching. He wasn't landing, and when he landed, he wasn't affecting Gary. And it made it all that much sweeter for Gary because he had one hand doing that. One hand doing that. So, I don't know. My Gene been talking about Ness, the rematch. I'm not excited for a rematch with a guy that I thought won the fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Gary won. I was more impressed with what Gary... Man, he was timing the shit out of Magsayo, man. That shit was not... I don't even think it's right, man. He was on last night. Even with an injury, he was spot on. His accuracy was on point. He was tripling a lead left hook, a lead straight left, tripling it. Like, how are we not giving him credit for that? How are we not giving him credit? How are we not saying he's special? No right hand, no jab, pop, pop, pop. 3 straight lefts on Magsayo. Like, nah, man, you got to appreciate that. And if they don't know what they're watching.
But what if Maimbe's right on the sense that running around, I don't know who he's going to fight on the PBC side at 126, but say they throw him a couple donuts at 126, right? Boom.
Throw Gary?
Throw
Gary a donut?
No. They throw Magsayo some donuts because, he's the power puncher. He just beat Gary Russell Jr. He comes back off 3-4 title defenses and then the rematch. Again, I don't like Gary Russell coming back to 126 because I told you, that's the Fonz, leather jacket, vroom, vroom by the motherfucking diner. Happy day. I don't want him going back there. But if he does, I think there's still a little bit of luster on it with Magsayo making 2, 3, 4 defenses and then Gary coming beating the shit out of him because he got both hands. It's crazy because I'm saying that because I'm so upset if he comes back to 126, but that's a way he could come back to 126.
I don't even see what Gary does at this point. We got to see where they rank him. Magsayo took his position. How many do they drop? Like, that's when we're going to see if the politics want him out of the sport or not. Wilder dropped 1 position. He only went under the interim champion and kept his position in his rematch. I don't think Gary has a rematch, and we'll see where he's at. As of today, Magsayo is the champion. Russell's not even up there. But they only, when the belt exchanges, they only change the champ. They don't update the entire ranking. So we'll see where Gary's at. But let me just say these names out loud so you can, make these names take like ass when I speak it. Julio Ceja, Adam Lopez, Ryan Walsh, Can X, Karim Garifi, Luis Lopez, Man, what is this? The dude that created Bitcoin, my man named Satoshi. Oh no, Satoshi. Yeah, Satoshi Shinzimi or Shimzui, whatever the fuck. Yo, ain't the dude that created Bitcoin Satoshi something like you look it up, but it's the same fucking
That's his
name.
nephew.
That's the same fucking first name. Joette Gonzalez, Tug Numbayar, Isaac Dogbe, Hinata Murata, Kid Galahad, Lerado Damini, Mark Magsayo, and Ray Vargas. And now obviously Magsayo is the champ. So nothing sexy there for Gary to stick around to, honestly.
Yeah, it's really not.
And that's the whole WBC. Biggest names, Julio Ceja, Canex, Kid Galahad, who lost, Isaac Dogbe, who's lost, Tug, who's lost, Joette, who's lost, Ray Vargas maybe, but he speaks no English. And that's just the WBC rankings, but that's who he would have to fight. So again, I don't know that it is even worth it for him to stay there. Now, when you consider BC at 130, Oshaki Taylor is your silver champ, Valdez is your real champ, Conseao is your number 3. I don't know this number 2. Muhammad, I ain't even gonna try. Yakubu, let's say. Edward Ramirez, Jamel Herring, but I think he retired, ain't he? He ain't announced it officially, I guess, but you got Rakhimov there, the one that beat Joseph Diaz. Lamont Roach, Albert Bell, Xavier Martinez with TMT. And that's just the WBC. Now, I won't lie and say that these numbers are 100 times, these names are 100 times greater than the division below, but this is only the WBC. Remember, in the WBA, you got Chris Colbert, you got Jonah Carl, you got other names. If you go to the ring, Shakur, Burchelt, Herring, Rakhimov, Colbert, Gutierrez, Uagua, Foster, Martinez, Conseao. That's a better top 10 than the previous division, which is, I guess. I still would pick 130. Listen to this. Emmanuel Navarrete, Mauricio Lara, Josh Warrington, Mark Magsayo, Kiko Martinez, Lee Wood, Kid Galahad, Numbayar, Canex, Joette Gonzalez. So it's top heavy. Like, Navarrete is a good fight. Lara is a good fight. Josh Warrington, you more on the, nobody really thinks Warrington would beat Gary Russell. Maybe now 33, maybe now coming off the shoulder injury, but before this fight, I don't think anybody was giving Warrington a shot over Russell. Kiko Martinez, he can't beat Russell. He can't beat Russell. The sun shined on that dog's ass, and that was one day, but that's it. He ain't getting no win over Russell. Lee Wood, he ain't getting no win over Russell. Galahad ain't getting no win over Russell. Tumbay already lost to Russell. Canex ain't never fighting Russell, and Joette Gonzalez ain't getting no win over Russell. So I don't know. And again, he's not guaranteed a shot at Navarrete. That's top rank. That's WBO. That's not. He don't know he can get that.
Yeah, man. 130 a bust, and that's what I'm saying. Even it sounds crazy. David
I don't even
and
like
Goliath.
130, man. He need to go up to 35. Like 130
And
is.
that's what I was gonna say.
130 is top heavy. It's got two sexy names, and we talking Shakur, Valdez. Yeah, people gonna be like, oh no, I like the Burchell fight. I like the Colbert fight. Cool. But the sexy names, the draws, the names, Shakur and Valdez. And those are pretty tough fights to make.
Burchelt is not bad on the comeback, though. Coming back off a shoulder injury, Burchelt is not bad at all. If he decided to move up and Burchelt was his first fight back, that's not bad. Motherfuckers is still out here fighting Miguel Mariaga.
Again, I don't know. I don't know that fight could even be made, though. Like,
that's true.
Tough fight to make. Cross to the street, other side of the street. I don't know.
Well, if he just got, if he just got played anyway, ain't no telling what a circumstance may or may not be on the comeback.
Yeah, I mean that's how he sounds, right? I think we got some audio here. He
Yeah.
sounds like that.
Yeah. Hey, Slim. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Politics is a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I beat that boy. I beat that boy at least 10 rounds to 2, 9 to 3, man. Man, took old boy to school, man. I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. I just wanted to come on here and show y'all some love, man. To the real supporters. You know what I'm saying? To the real fans, man.
And you know what's crazy, man? His face tells a different story too. Magsayo's face was all fucked up, and I know that's an unfair way of assessing an entire fight. And one man whelps and scars more than the next, but I don't know what I saw, man. I didn't see Gary lose, and I'm not calling it a robbery because I didn't score round by round, but bruh, I didn't see Gary lose, man.
Yeah, man. I think I have used the term robbery, and only because I think that they took it. Gary, didn't lose the fight. They took it from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, shoulder was bad, but like, a lot of people saw it the way if you turn the volume down and you didn't look at what fucking Steve Farhood goofy ass was doing. I think it was very easy to see Magsayo did miss a lot of punches. The pressure he was trying to apply wasn't effective. Gary Russell stood right there in the pocket and pivoted, and he threw the one punch he had all night long. He Lionel Richie, that son of a bitch, and he didn't get credit for it. So, you know what I'm saying? Robbery is maybe a strong word for some, but you know what I mean? Like a thefting, you know what I'm saying? A pickpocket.
A thefting.
You know what I'm saying? Like what you want me to call it?
A burglary. A larceny,
Pilfering.
bro. They fucking stole it, man. I got a super chat, man, from Kansas City back at us. He says the Mongolian fighter lost versus the African cat. Referee was ridiculous. Yeah, they robbed him of the knockdown. The referees, like watching the replays, like I don't even see a punch land now. It's like, come on, bro, don't do this. Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. That's New Jersey. New Jersey was one of the first to start instant replay, and they still ain't use it right then and there. They had the opportunity. They didn't use it right there. This is ridiculous at this point, man. The only sport not to use instant replay, and we have it. We have it. They implemented it. They just don't use it all the time. I think it was New York that used it. This is sad, bro. Because that African dude, his pay scale changes. You went in there and you dropped tug, even though you lost, you didn't get stopped. Bruh, somebody bringing you back and they paying you a little bit better than this time. But now you ain't get no knockdown. That shit ain't officially on paper. I mean, these dudes, man, they don't really care, man. This sport is tough, bro. This sport is tough, man. These dudes, my man had a 27-hour flight, and he get all the way over here and gets robbed for a knockdown. I'm hooking off on the ref. This is what I'm saying. This is why I fuck with Zab. I always fuck with Zab because, bruh, like, you should not be allowed to do me wrong free of motherfucking consequences, man. Zab tried to hit a dude with the stool, remember?
Yeah,
he don't play. He tried to hit a ref like, dog, you ain't just gonna have your way with me, man. And that's what these refs think, man. They disrespectful, man. They let shoving go on. They let all these illegals infractions go on. And then something like this happens where someone really, he needed it. I'm telling you, I promise you, man. I feel in the heart of hearts that a knockdown would have changed his pay grade in the next fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we almost saw a little bit of that. I think, the referee in the Matias fight did a much better job, but, you just saw, different standards. Like this guy couldn't fucking see the punch. He fucking couldn't see a fucking clear as day punch. And, he was on the other side of it. He was on the wrong. Well, that's what the instant replay's for, genius. So, he shit the bed on that one. And then you had, the referee in the Matias fight, she was, gave him several warnings. But, you didn't see her Warren Petros for the form he was using coming in with his head. It was, so it was. I thought it was a rough fight, but I thought that was fair because she came out the gate being strict. So when she did deduct the point, it didn't look awkward. This guy was just like fucking blind as a bat, and then at the opportunity to kind of redeem himself at the very least, he's still stuck to it.
I feel like I know the answer to this, but I still want to ask it because we've seen crazier things in boxing. But does this loss truly eliminate Gary from a Tank fight, or in some weird way does this make him more of a viable opponent because he's older, because he got an injury, or does the loss automatically eliminate him in that Mayweather green print route?
Two things. It's up to Gary Russell because he'd have to agree to move up to 35.
True.
And whatever it was before, I bet you part of the issue was, hey, man, I'm the WBC champ for 1,000 years, man. That motherfucker ain't got no real belt. So now he got to change his tune. His language has to be a lot different. It has to be, okay, you know what? All right, what y'all paying me? All right, that's cool. Can you throw a little more in there, some extra tickets? All right, cool. Yeah, okay, I understand I need to move up. He can't be that fucking choosy now. That's the way that Tank fight get made, because I believe if it was a possibility before, I think he was, playing it a little bit too cool. I'm a champ, and I had the belt. I got the real belt. I beat this. I fought this person. This motherfucker ain't fought nobody.
But you don't think he understood he was the B-side in that fight? You think because he was undefeated, or had the title rather, he had some chip on his shoulder? I feel like he understood that Tank's the star. Not that he said anything like that. I mean, it's just like hard for it's hard for me to believe that these guys are that dumb that they can't see they the B-side.
Respectfully, I think he would have thought he was the A-side because in his mind, his championship reign was more significant than it was to him. You know what I'm saying?
But as he would say, I mean, Shorty only won one world title. Shorty ain't never moved up. Shorty ain't never unified, undisputed. Like, he ain't even the ring champ. Like, what the fuck could Gary be smoking on to think that he's the A-side over Tank? And I want some. Holla at me. As long as it's greenery and it's made out of THC, holla at me. But if you smoking on that other shit, bro, that ice, that Molly, you tripping out here, because that's the only thing that's going to have you thinking you the A-side over Tank. Like, you never unified. You never avenged your loss. You never unified. You never avenged your loss. You never undisputed. You never was the ring. I mean, what are we even talking about here? Like, I mean, all right, whatever. What about the Colbert fight? You think Colbert still takes it? Like, it's
think
one
Colbert
loss.
Definitely takes that fight. Colbert takes that fight, and he gonna tell him, bring that ass to the Barclays so I can fuck you up. Like, Colbert's gonna talk cash shit. He gonna be respectful, but like, Colbert is ready for that fight, and I don't think it was anything, necessarily yet. Like, including what before that, I think Colbert would have took the fight, knowing the risk. Not that it was easy, because definitely the risk.
No, he was taking it. Remember when we had him on the show, he said that was the fight they was giving him, and then the WBA interfered and said he had to fight Gutierrez.
Mm-hmm. Which I like the Gutierrez fight better for Colbert right now, but I think the Russell fight is good. I think he's got no problem with Russell moving up. I think he feels just as quick as Gary, and I think, seeing what he saw yesterday.
That's a tough fight still for Colbert. I'm going to be real, because, again, I didn't think Gary lost. So that's a tough fight. That boy fast. And he obviously got popped. Magsayo, Mr. Magnifico, wasn't trying to be magnificent yesterday. I'll tell you that right now. He was jumping in occasionally, but he was very cautious of Gary's power with one arm. I don't know. That fight, that Colbert fight, that could be. And that's a good fight. If Colbert wins the Gutierrez fight, becomes the real champion, now he has an argument to unify with Shakur Valdez winner. The easiest way to get Shakur Valdez winner is to further build your name with Gary Russell. so that you got that on your resume when you do turn around and see Valdez Shakur winner.
That's a great fight for either way, for either fighter, because if Russell wins, then he's right back in the game. He's like trading, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that? Coming to America, like Mortimer and Randolph. You know what I'm saying? With Prince Hakeem gave him the little grip of money. Yeah. They back in the game. He's back in the game with a win over a guy like Colbert. But if Colbert beats him, that's his herring.
It's gonna be some shit talking too. Colbert gonna be like, man, you lost to a little dude, man. I'll fuck Magsayo up. Imitation Pacquiao. I know my man Colbert gonna talk some cash shit.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Let me slide in some of these callers, man, versus making y'all wait forever. It's not too many topics. Like we told you earlier this week, there's only one fight this entire weekend. So there's a little bit of news and notes here and there, but let's open it up.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Mad Bent, what up?
There's not too many topics like we told you earlier this week.
Mad Bent, what up? All right. We're going to come back to you. I got C Soldier, been a member for 5 months. He said, we need that Colbert versus Shakur smoke. I don't want any other fight. Y'all know my body. Yeah, man. I don't really want that fight, man. Them both my guys, man.
I know my body. Yeah, I know Shakur body. Shakur know my body.
Yeah.
What up, champ?
And I don't want that fight either. I hate that fight.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? That's too close to my heart. Brooklyn is a special place in my heart. You already know what it is when it comes to all things Jersey, man. I love Chris Colbert, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Primetime Chicken. They just had a grand opening over in Garfield, New Jersey, you know what I'm saying? Garwood, rather. Yeah, so Chris, if you want to throw me some killed breast, feel free. But, yeah, man, that fight is going to be real whenever it's made. It's going to be real tough, man. And to me, it wouldn't matter what trajectory these guys on, because I could see Shakur doing exactly what he's going to do with Valdez. And as much as I like Gutierrez as a fighter, I could see Colbert winning. And then even then, it may, it's probably not going to be ready. But say, the Russell fight happens for Colbert, like I said, that's his herring. That's his Jamel Herring. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's by that point happens, it'll be great, man.
Shit, but I'm going to be real. Gary is fresher than Herring, and Gary's more dangerous than Herring. I ain't gonna front. Herring got better with age. Herring got better with time, but Gary is more dangerous. I didn't see Gary losing, so this is not a poor performance to me. I didn't see him losing.
No, and I know you're rating the performance, based on the circumstances and all night long, his pivot, his speed will kill you. Gary Russell's speed will kill you. And so, he's the more dangerous opponent, but I think I mentioned it last night during the live fight chat, man. Sometimes you don't really know what the issues are unless you got that car on the road. When you leave it in the garage, you assume that it's tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And you got to take that bitch out and stretch it on the highway, you know what I'm saying? To really, you know what I mean? That check engine light may come on and you like, yo, I ain't drove this shit in like 3 months. Yeah, motherfucker, because you ain't drove it in 3 months, you know what I'm saying? Especially them fancy jobs with your fucking battery under the back seat, right? If you don't crank that bitch up at least a certain amount of time, this shit gonna die in your garage, man. So, there's one thing about preservation and there's another thing about kind of just letting some shit waste away. It ain't getting damaged like being fight worn, but it isn't exactly being utilized either.
So it looks like Mad Bet 100 jumped back on, but before I get to him, I wanted to just talk about this AJ step aside situation. The reason that we're talking about it once again is because now Garth Davis has come out. I mean, is it Davis or Davies? But he's come out and he's acknowledging that there is £15 million step aside fee. And that from what he's being told, that if Joshua accepts, he's most certainly guaranteed a crack at the winner. And I don't know how much you read out of the Telegraph's article, but yeah, I mean, unlike the Wilder situation where you had someone from Wilder's team consistently coming out and saying, no, we're not accepting shit. Wilder wants his fight. This is looking more and more real. And again, Garth Davies is he's like the Rayfield of out there. I don't know if that's disrespectful or not because he feels hip. He's got the long gray hair and he feels he reminds me of like a Rolling Stone, right? Or one of those guys, you know what I mean? A rock and roll like guy with his hair and his glasses. But this is starting to look real. It's just like everybody wants to see Undisputed, at least on that side of the pond. I don't hear any of my circles talking about this fight, Usyk and Fury. I don't know about you. Like, with the people you hang or communicate with, is this a big topic at the water cooler?
Nah, man. It's interesting because I think this is very consistent. I'm an AJ. I enjoy watching AJ. I'm a fan of what he does up until late. And not that I'm no longer a fan, but it's just that I'm curious about what his next move is. And what I figured out is this move is consistent with how I think he is. And when people say, and it's not a bad thing, because how the fuck, is there an easier way to make $15 million? I got no clue, right? So 15 million pounds, which is what, probably like $18 million.
No,
okay?
It's 20.5.
Okay, so 20.5. There's not an easier way to do it. So you kind of don't take it. You don't take it, especially if he's still, because the biggest question was, who's his trainer still? We still don't know whether it's Robert Garcia or if it was Ronnie or if it's
but isn't that more reason to accept this $20 million and get all that shit together?
Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's all the more reason why he takes the step-aside money and figure this shit out. There is no better decision he has now, and I think AJ takes less of a hit with the whole honor thing because, the way that his UK fans will spin it for him is that, he's so honorable, he's going to get out of the way of the unification.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? If it was anybody else, he's a punk. He don't want to step up and face his battles and shit, right? But, hey, man, it's an easy 20.5 mil. Plus you get the retool. I bet you AJ fuck around and don't even take the winner of the fight and then try to take what he perceives as a bigger fight. Watch him come out. Well, I always like to, face Deontay Wilder before I retire.
Bro, that's a good fight, though. I promise you, if he takes step aside money and never fights Usyk Fury winner and wants to fight Wilder instead,
that's a better thing.
Bro, I'm so happy, though. Like, I still want that fight, man. I still want that fight. But I'm greedy. I still want the Chisora and the Dillian White fights with Wilder. I'm sorry. Yeah. I got Big Matthew with a super chat. Says Fury batters Usyk and confirms #1 all-time heavyweight. Yeah, man. I mean, we got to see it. We got to see it. I'm hitting a thumbs up from 89 to 90. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. Let's crash the algorithm by you hitting that thumbs up. You're going to let YouTube know that you're interested in this, so they'll put this in the eyes of other boxing fans to see if they're interested, and then they can become new callers and stuff like that, man. Let's go out to Mad Bet in Kansas City. What up?
What up? What up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Yeah, I was watching that Gary Russell fight, and at the end of the fight, I thought he won the fight. The broadcast from the beginning, they were, hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, the broadcasters were trying to play Gary, man. They wanted him out of there. I was like, that's kind of Gary's fault for not fighting in 2 years and fighting every next 10 years. You think he's shot here, do? Drop an album.
What was Mahrez saying? What was Mahrez as the boxer? What was he saying?
Mahrez was the only one. He was the only one saying that Gary is probably winning this fight. But then he didn't want to go against Al Bernstein. But he was like, I think Gary could be winning this fight. He won that round. Gary's making him miss. He's missing a lot of punches, meaning Magnifico. And he's hitting him with that left hand. But he just wouldn't boldly come on and say, Gary won the fight. He's like, it's a close fight. I think Gary could be winning some of these rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gary could be ahead. But I thought Gary won the fight. I saw the guy throwing a lot of punches. I saw him hesitant to go do what his business. And Gary was controlling the tempo of the fight. Moving how he wanted, popping in the face with the left hand, tripling and doubling. It was nice. I was impressed. That African one beat Nambaya. He's trash. Nambaya is not what he is supposed to be. He almost lost against Brady's, who was Barry Hunter's charge. He lost against Gary also. He doesn't win. He goes to sleep. And he got dropped, and the referees played a nincompoop.
He's not a killer.
That's not call, man.
He's not a killer. Remember, he's
not a killer.
He hurt that African with a big left hook. My man feet, he did the chicken dance, and he didn't even jump on him, bro. He didn't even jump on him, right?
He's not a killer.
He's not a killer.
And that guy came 30 hours and beat his ass and got a draw. That was terrible.
And that's the sad part, though. Like, why? All right, Matt Ben. It's like, why are you in this sport if you ain't a killer? If you out here having mercy on folks, man, you in the wrong sport, man. You in the wrong sport. Like, these dudes are crazy, man. My man hurt him. He do the chicken dance. He just look at him like, what up, though?
Yo, but you see what I'm saying about Tug, though? Tug is up out of here. He's got no pull. He's out of here, yo.
No, but you still use his name. I'm sure other people, I'm sure Magsayo might get a round at Tug because they don't got names over there. Who they gonna put him in with?
Yeah, nobody.
I don't know either, but we gonna go out to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Jew is coming through your town.
Let's get to it.
When you see old dirty bastards in a position like that, then you know that I'm getting ready to bust your.
I love my TVV comrades.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
Listen, man.
What?
Goddamn spider crime, goddamn South Shane. That's all I need, and I'm good.
SDS Promotions.
Hey yo, y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Yo, peace to the live chat, peace to the TBV, peace to the TBV comrades. Listen, man, shit got wild the last 2 weeks. I ain't been on because I'm doing this thing. I'm learning flatbed trucking, and I'm doing the training, right? So my trainer old school. I can't fuck with the phone and nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I miss everybody. Once I get my own truck, Ness, it's me and you. We getting this shit rocking like I always been doing. Don't worry. Give me a week or two. Let me get my own truck, and then I'm back at it again hard. Listen, man, this Gary Russell shit is wild, because I remember growing up in Brooklyn. Then I moved to Queens, right? It was a dude called One Arm Bar Kim, right, the guard. And he was short like Gary Russell, but dude had one arm. He was knocking everybody out. So what I saw with that fight was, You mean to tell me they couldn't get that man to draw fucking with one arm? Dude couldn't do nothing with him, yo. The Filipino dude couldn't even fuck with Gary, man. What? One arm. All he do was the left. You know what I mean? Yo, what did Big Punch say? Yo, hit you with so many lefts, you be begging for it right. You know what I mean? And I'm telling y'all now, here's the bad thing and good thing. He lost, but fuck around, he could come to 130, y'all. He could get in the mix. He could get in the mix at 135. He don't got to fight once a year now. Probably get 2 in. And yo, I just saw this shit. This Jerry Anderson, Deontay Wilder, shit is wild. No, Ness. Don't do that, Ness. Don't diss me, Ness. Listen, man. Telling y'all right now, the shit gonna get wild. If Gary Russell come to 130, 135, he got Tank. He could get Lomachenko revenge if he want to do that. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, remember y'all, One Arm Bar. A lot of brothers listening from Brooklyn and Queens. There was a guy called One Arm Bar. He was like 5'4", like Gary Russell and shit, and knocking everybody out. He had one arm. One arm. And what people don't know about boxing is it ain't just power, it's your feints. So you can feint somebody with one arm. The dude, Gary Russell is a beast with one fucking arm. Can we get the rematch, y'all? Can we get the rematch? Is Magsayo going to do some not giving a rematch?
You really want a rematch, though? Like, you really want to see a rematch, or you just want him to get the rematch?
I just want him to get the rematch, because let's see what the fuck he could do with 2 good arms. If he fucking almost... dog, 115, 114, 114, 114. They could have gave him a draw. The fucking judges couldn't believe this man couldn't even throw his right hand and was still beating him. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Yo, see, so he want the rematch for Gary. It ain't that he want to see the rematch, and that's important, man, because. I mean, I guess it would be more exciting, though. Like, if he did get the rematch and he had a healthy 2 arms, it would be more exciting. Gary would do more damage, for sure.
And I think, that's a great way you ask the question, because people want to see Gary come back. They want to see him get some get back, but they don't really want to see him against Magsayo. They don't want to see that fight again. But what people know is you give him his other arm, and he gonna bust that ass. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it could also go another way where Magsayo, if it happens or takes that long, Gary comes back. Magsayo got 1, 2, 3 defenses already. And then, they better not do him like they did Planner. That motherfucker be fighting at the fucking Miami Convention Center, the Palm Beach Convention Center.
I just think it's a world where Gary's retired. I think there's a galaxy that exists where his father's leg got amputated. He said one of his brothers died. He's been in the gym as a trainer more and more. His younger brother, Gary Antuanne Russell, who's got a fight scheduled with Viktor Postol, he's looking like the better brother. He's got wins over Boots in the amateurs. He's in the welterweight division, or rather the 140, and will be a welterweight. I think that there's a world that exists where Gary just decides to be his brother's trainer, be in his corner, help his father. He got his leg amputated. You know what I'm saying? He gonna need help around the house and mobility wise, all that, till he gets used to. And this is Gary with a belt taking 2 years off. Imagine Gary with no belt. Like, I get what you saying. This can make him hungrier.
Yeah.
But again, Gary with no belt, 2 years off, and doesn't get sexy names. I don't even know, like, can they really bring him back? Like, is Al fucking with this dude? Is he bringing him back?
We'll have to see. I hope so.
Let me go to...
Let the little fish go so that we can catch the big fish later.
I'm the big dog at the welterweight division.
WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world.
At the end of the day, I'm boy, he better fight in Terrence Crawford.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
Be in Terrence Crawford on this side of the street.
We cleaning our side of the street, then we coming after Crawford.
60-40 or 70-30, wherever we get.
Say something now. Say something now.
Big Fish Vega.
Big Fish Mafia. It ain't a movement, it's a lifestyle.
SDS Promotions.
Big Pacquiao. Then he be saying I don't go to him. I swear. This is what happened yesterday. He like, yo, Ness, you ain't go to me.
El Pescado de Grande, where are you?
Hello. Well, in the meantime, we want to announce the fact that the producer believes it would be a better experience if we did a interactive TBV award show. There's no date and time at the moment, but we want to get the community's thoughts on possibly doing live voting. Now that we have the nominations and the categories, we can have a particular show on a particular day and set up one poll at a time, which would require you to be here from start to finish so that each poll can get around the same amount of votes and we can get a winner per category. Or we can do it the old-fashioned way where we put the poll on the community page and everyone can just vote on their own free time. That is my issue. I do believe that by doing it on a live show, you're forcing the votes and the awards to be given out to people based off the live show interaction. Some people are like Born are on the road. They're truck drivers. They can't actually vote at the moment. They're not part of the YouTube live chat community. So keep in mind that if we do it this way, the YouTube live chat community will be the one that gets to vote on these categories.
You know what I think? I think there's a way where we could do it like we did boxing bars, where you let it hang out, or and I think it can't be done in one day because, like you said, sometimes the momentum. You might get somebody that sway the audience, they influential, they go and get, a whole slew of a whole corporate office, and they just, get the votes and just, so I guess if we set it like we used to do the bets, rather, set it in the beginning of the week or a couple days in the beginning of the week, and then by Thursday, you know what I'm saying? All the votes are in, or by Friday, and then, we do the big on a flagship show, perhaps, you know what I'm saying? Then we can kind of actually do the awards on the flagship show. You know what I mean?
So Casual Baz Guy says, do a live show, promote that show for a month. So he wants the awards show to take place 30 days from, whenever. Canna, who is our community editor, says, do community polls posted for one entire week in advance. That's kind of how I like it because, if you can't, I listened to a lot of podcasts before I started my own, and I was big on movie podcasts, and there was so much that those guys asked you to do that I never did, that I was all right with just consuming their extremely long movie podcasts. It was good enough for me. So that being said, I'm just saying that not everyone has the time. And forcing us to be on your time for one day, I think will not allow us to maximize on the amount of votes that could take place. But just announcing it, it's an idea. Let us know what you think. You can hit me up, hit Brandon up, don't matter. Hit Amin up, whoever you feel comfortable talking to, and get that information back to us. Big Fish Vega, trying you one more time. I don't know, maybe you was driving and all that goodness. If not, going out to my longtime listener, my alumni and ringer.
One of the fighters is going to lose, and no matter what, Don King's going to win.
That's the way it's supposed to be. It's in America, man. That's enterprise. I didn't write the rules. I revolutionized the pay scale in boxing. I paid fighters more money than anyone in the history of the sport. That is a true fact. You know what I mean? That has been done. So when I be, only thing I could be guilty of is hitting them in the head with $100 bills, giving them dignity, pride, and a lot of money. So now whatever it is more than what they could get from any adversary of mine. Otherwise, they wouldn't be with me.
Shout out Tybo, Riddick Bowe, Bozy Ennis, Bo Mac, Bo Jackson. It's Bo and Bama chiming in. Know what I'm saying? On the Magsayo versus Gary Russell. It was a great performance by Gary. Great performance by Magsayo, you know. I wasn't too impressed with Magsayo specifically. I was impressed more with Gary Russell fighting the man with one hand, one arm. It was good to see. And at the end, he said that he had the lingering injury. He let us know before the fight. It seemed to be pretty genuine and honest. He said he's going to get the surgery. He's never had surgery on the shoulder. He said he's going to get the surgery, and he's coming back. So I feel like he's going to test the shoulder out after surgery. And if it's good, he's going to be back. He only 33 years old. He younger than Bud. He younger than Porter. He younger than a lot of other champions in the sport right now. You know what I'm saying? He only a couple years older than Errol Spence, or maybe a year or two older than Anthony Joshua. He younger than a Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He the same age as Fury. He the same age as me. So I feel like he can come back, and I feel like he'll be a champion again. That's how I feel, because up until that shoulder went out, my boy got them hands. Straight up. What you think about that, Ness? What you think about that, King? I mean,
I think even when the shoulder went out, he was still putting hands on. I don't think he lost, man. But you know,
did he show you heart?
Yeah, he showed heart.
Did he show you speed even with one hand? Did he show you speed?
But heart ain't what I needed to see. What I saw was skill. I saw one guy being able to still not be hit with one arm. I saw one guy put on a display of magnificent pivots. Those pivots were out of this world, man. He's a teacher. He needs to teach someone else how to pivot that good. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Boxing is crazy, man. Until we get a universal way of scoring.
Well, just know, you got to know this, brother. I've been watching boxing for a while, and I've noticed that over the last few years, the judges have been going away from that defensive style. They push it. You got to go based off what the king of the sport is doing. Whoever the best at the sport in that time is typically how the judge is going to score everybody else under there. If the best at the sport is more aggressive, walk down, come forward, knockout fighter, that's what the judges seem to be looking for, you know what I'm saying, across the whole sport of boxing. It's based, and like when Floyd was there, yeah, they fuck with the defense and things, you know what I'm saying? But now that Canelo there, they scoring for that Canelo style. They scoring for the man that's going to put on the excitement from offense rather than defense specifically. Like if Floyd was boxing right now, we'll be calling some robberies on that motherfucker. They'll be robbing him. If he was fighting right now on high level,
they never could rob Floyd. See, because the difference with Floyd is that he was so accurate. See, you know, some of Gary's shots.
I think he'll get robbed next. In a close fight, I think they'll rob him, brother.
He's so accurate, bro. He hits you clean and clear, and then you don't hit him. It's so like he's truly the Matrix. He was always the Matrix.
Right, and at the same time, he would be the highest in the sport too if he was still in it. So maybe I'm wrong with that statement, and I have no problem being wrong. But what I really like to hear about is Border Wars. It's still around. The premiere for the Border Wars in Florida, Plant City, just came out. Y'all should go back and watch that. It's a highlight reel. A lot of action, a lot of competition, beautiful venue, great refereeing, great commentary. Great ring, beautiful ring card girls. It's all there. What you need, TBV got it when it comes to the Border Wars. You on the couch, you want to punch a motherfucker, you can do it. You got to come to Border Wars, though. Got it for you. It's supposed to be in Mexico coming up soon. New Mexico, that is. Come down, hang out with us, have a good time.
And if you feel up to the challenge, get in the ring and swing. Shout out Don King. Shout out Roger Mayweather. Bo and Bama signing out.
Yeah, man. Border Wars is out. Let me screen share and pin it. This is it right here, bros. That's it right there. Look at that. With the effects and all the goodness. Look at my boy Elias. Shout out to RX. Anthony, Big Money Forbes, I see you. Esteban. Look at the quality, man. Shout out Zip Zantana. Look at Info Joe looking spiffy. Belts.
ASAP Pablo, all the fighters.
Yeah, ASAP with the man bun. him and Marvin keeping the man buns alive. Shout out Hector Munoz. I'm telling you, it's out. I'ma pin it. You know, shout out to Canna, man. What would I do without you, champ? My man always be working. I had it uploaded and I didn't even get an opportunity to publish it. And he took the initiative, man. That's what we need around here. Go getters. I love it. I love it. I love it. We got a couple super chats I think they came in. Let me see here. Man, these dogs stay snoring. They don't want to be without me. That's the problem. They attached, man. Big ass babies, bro. Then they just come in here to sleep. Both of them. Snoring up a storm. Yeah, okay, so we got Majimba was the next one. I thought we had one before him, but we got to Big Matthew. So Majimba says, Rigo was robbed by Sean Gibbons. Sabril Matisse is a beast. Let's see Tank and Sabril, and I want to nominate Bo and Bama for Caller of the Year. You see, that's why these things have to be on the actual post, so that we can take that information and create the actual vote. That being said, Sabril hits hard. It's obvious he hits hard, but he can't beat Tank. He gets hit too much. His left
Tank
hand
stops him, actually.
His left hand is too low. Tank will smother his ass. And that same Maidana right hand that this Russian was landing, Tank will land that shit. I don't know how much I don't know how big of a size discrepancy it is for Tank and him, but I seen what he did to Red Catch. I know that was Spawn, but I seen what he did to Red Catch. I can't unsee it. There's no way to unsee it. You know what I mean?
Plus, he just came out of spar recently with Porter. The legend of Tank, as far as the boxing,
keeps growing.
People know about exactly. It keeps growing. I heard he could box. That boy could box. He could box. And so
dudes get on here, we interview him. Y'all ain't seen nothing. Y'all ain't even seen him box yet, man. Word is born, man. People admitting. Porter admitted. He admitted. Nah, that boy Tank special. Come on, man. We gotta stop. Look, when it was Crawford getting all these legendary rumors, people forced us, oh, you got to believe. All right, maybe I was one of the long ones. I took the long route. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, practice what you preach. If you was preaching at Crawford gym rumor stories, Tank got those by the dozens.
Sure.
And listen, because it's Tank, I'll take the Pitbull rematch, Death Threat. I'll take the Pitbull rematch because I know Tank with 2 arms, he'll destroy him too. Quicker, mean and viciously. I'm telling you. Let me get to Mr. Maldonado.
Listen, Vegas don't know nothing. The world don't know nothing. Only I know everything.
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats.
Oh, what a big shot by Lopez! I told everybody!
TheBoxingVoice.com.
What he done to the boxing world to be #1 in the junior weight division?
SDS Promotions.
Yo, shout out to Brandon, the producer, for making the greatest caller intro ever. That shit is crazy. Did you know Gary Russell, man? I didn't think he was that young. Gary Russell was around as a young up-and-coming contender or prospect around the time when Yorokas Gamboa was Gervonta Davis. When Gamboa was Tank Davis at the time, because he was the man at 126, Gary Russell was being built up as a potential big fight for Gamboa. And it's a shame that Gary Russell never moved up in weight. You know, he was chasing Rio Santa Cruz.
I don't know when that was happening, man, because Gamboa.
I remember that. That was at HBO.
Gamboa was never on the same.
Not on the same level pay-per-view wise. What I'm saying is he was the man.
No, I'm talking about he was never with Al for that fight to happen.
But he was in the same division. At the time, that's when they were trying to build up. First, they were trying to build up Juanma Lopez.
Champ. Remember that it's two different promoters, two different businesses. Gamboa was with Top Rank. They was always trying to give him to Rios. And before it was Rios, he was allegedly, before it was Rios, he was allegedly supposed to get Juanma. But every time they gave him a Juanma victim, he destroyed the victim.
He killed them. They were built. Juanma came out of nowhere.
Slipped up too because he lost to Salido twice. He fucked it up.
Yeah, and he lost to Salido. Remember, Salido got beaten by Gamboa. So they said, all right, let's put Juanma with one of his guys. Let's see if Juanma could do what Gamboa does, which is beat the other guy at the
They over-marinated, though.
Shit the bed.
Yo, they wanted. They made each other. They made both fighters fight like 3 of each other's victims. Like that shit. You over marinate in this shit. Shit was.
Yo, Ness, you know what it was that scared. I'm gonna tell you what scared Bob from making that fight, because Juanma was a bigger draw because he was Puerto Rican. Juanma came out of nowhere and knocked out Daniel Ponce de Leon. He blew him out. So then, this dude was building him up as the next Puerto Rican. So then Juanma had that tough fight with the African dude, Matagua, that almost fucking killed him.
And Gamboa and then they put Matagua in.
Smoked him in 2 rounds, bro.
He destroyed
him. He smoked him. So that's when they was like, whoa. Let's pump the brakes. Because Bob was actually going to try to sacrifice Gamboa to Juanma because Gamboa was looking chinny and Juanma was cracked. But then when they seen what Gamboa did, they were like, wait a minute, we're going to have to build this up. And
even after Matagua, he destroyed another Juanma opponent. Destroyed him.
Yeah. And not for nothing, Juanma wasn't that bad. Juanma actually had a couple of wins in the rivalry with Puerto Rico. He beat Juan Manuel Marquez's brother, Rafael.
They just match made him wrong. Nobody could expect what was gonna happen with Salido. Salido had so many losses. No one expected that, but that motherfucker could punch.
Yo, not for nothing. That's crazy. Salido's resume is all right, man. He beat Lomachenko. And he's the one that took the O from Juanma.
And he beat...
Salido got a lot of losses.
I'm pretty sure he beat Robert Guerrero, too.
He beat Robert Guerrero, the one that's welterweight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me double
Anyway,
check.
but what I was trying to tell you was Gary Russell was around that same time. He wasn't in the same promotion, but he was being built up by Al Heyman. And I've heard people say, "Oh, imagine him." Because I remember one time he was on an HBO card, and it was some fight that they used for highlights where he blew the dude up with like a 15-punch combination. In like 2 seconds, he threw that combination. And HBO announcers were talking about, "Oh, what about if he was to fight Gamboa?" They was talking about that. And it's a shame that Gary Russell never moved up in weight, bro.
Man, stop blaming that shit on Gary. Gamboa was never going to get given to Gary, man. Knock it off.
Either way, the point is...
And they was never on the same level, man. Gary was on fucking HBO fighting 8-rounders. Gamboa was a championship boxer. He literally won titles on HBO. They was never in the same level.
HBO did mention it. HBO said, imagine a fight between him and Gamboa down the road.
Larry Merchant mentioned Pacquiao and Canelo, dog. Like, that shit don't mean nothing.
But the point I'm trying to make is that Gary Russell been around for so long, since Gamboa's days, and he never got the big fight, man. He should have fucking took the Devin Haney fight when it was being offered.
Word is born.
He should have took. Yeah, he should have took the term sheet The Crawford fight, all right, that's different. Crawford would have ruined him. But they could have put him in with Haney, and believe it or not, he would have gave Haney a good fight. If he would have got in range, he would have touched Haney up because JoJo, I'm not saying he would have beaten Haney, but it would have been a competitive fight, bro. I seen what he did to JoJo Diaz. He beat him more impressive than Haney did. And short arms and all, man. Gary Russell could fight, bro.
All that shit, but he did his thing for sure. But I don't know about all that more impressive shit.
He got hit less than Devin Haney did in that fight. He got hit less than Devin Haney.
I just seen him like this fight, like the Magsayo fight. I seen him sit in the pocket and bite down, and that's what I admired. I don't know about that better than Devin Haney shit though.
The way he turns and pivots.
Yeah, because he's more on defense. Haney control you with the offense. Haney control you with jabs and body shots. Roundhouse rights to the head, loopy rights around your guard. Like Gary's controlling you with pivots, keeping you off balance, kind of like Loma. That's why he had difficulties with Loma, because it was like
because everything he do, Loma do better. Sound like boots right now, but what he do better.
Everywhere I'm looking. Let me screen. Look, I'm on Facebook trying to find something while I'm talking to you. But look, I'm in one of the boxing posts. This shit got like 300,000 subscribers, right? Look, 150,000 members, right? The first post there, Gary Russell is a phenom. He fought that young boy with one hand. Everybody's saying the same shit, man. It's crazy that Twitter and fucking Showtime seen it a whole nother way, bruh. I'm just shocked. I'm like, what the fudge?
The networks create their narratives at the end of the day, bro. You know, they do that. If you watch boxing and just listen to the color commentators, they're going to make you think somebody's winning a fight, man.
Word.
That's how it is. To this day, listen to this. Everybody always talks about Floyd didn't beat Castillo the first time. I watched that fight one time without HBO on I think it was ESPN Plus with ESPN back with the ESPN commentators, right? And watching that shit without the HBO biasness, that fight wasn't as close as people say it was. I think Madonna and I think Miguel Cotto gave Floyd better fight.
Old news, man. Talk to me about your boy Magsayo versus Haney. You talking about Gary? What the fuck would Haney do?
Magsayo versus Haney?
What would Haney do to that dude Magsayo, man?
Hey, come on, Haney about to fight Cambrosius, I think.
Cambrosius running scared, man. He got the Tioism.
No, my man, Teofimo was in a fight.
Yo, let me ask you something. Since you know so much history, can you name another fighter that has called out more unified champs to make the undisputed fight than Devin?
I'm gonna tell you somebody that was really ducked back in the days. Mike McCallum,
nah. Don't give me the history lesson. I'm asking you.
You asking me about fighters that was ducked.
I'm asking you. What about Andre? Has Andre had the opportunity to call out two different unified champs that if he fought, he would be able to be undisputed? Nah, he hasn't, right? Nah, right?
He wanted Canelo. He did want Canelo.
Yeah, okay, but that's one dude that could have did undisputed with you. Who's the next dude that could do undisputed with you? You see that? You see how he had Tio? You see how he had Loma? Like, yo, Loma, let's do undisputed.
Yo, hold on. Let's get something straight. Hold on. How was Loma ducking Haney when Haney doesn't even have a belt at the time?
Brother.
Why choose Haney, but you can fight Teofimo and Unified, bro, become undisputed.
He took franchise, brother. He took franchise.
Yeah, but he's on top rank, bro.
That's the definition of duck.
Teofimo is a bigger fight.
We're not changing that.
Teofimo is a bigger fight than Devin Haney. Spanish dude in Madison Square Garden.
Sergey Kovalev is a bigger fight than Charlo. He's still ducked. Sergey Kovalev is a 3-time world champion at the same division. Fought Andre Ward twice on pay-per-view. Sergey Kovalev is a bigger name than Charlo, and still Canelo ducked Charlo by taking franchise. Stop trying to change it. That belt was always a duck belt. You just used to act like it wasn't because it was Tio. He no longer has it. You don't have to lie anymore.
Cambosos ain't ducking Devin Haney, man. They're gonna make that fight.
If you fight anybody other than Devin Haney, you are ducking because there's only 6 undisputed male champions in the world. You telling everybody that you don't want to be part of that history. That's what Tio told him, and he was cursed. If Camboso does the same, he'll be cursed because in this game, it ain't just about money. You gotta make your legacy. You gotta make your legacy. Or it's gonna come back to bite you. Now Tio's dad ain't the greatest trainer. He letting other people lead the charge.
Oh man, you hating on Tio, bro? He's coming back, man.
I ain't hating. I'm just
and he wasn't ducking Devin Haney, bro.
I keep it real.
He wasn't ducking Devin Haney.
What he was doing?
He wasn't. What happened with the meeting with Bob? Come on, man.
What he was doing when he
what happened with the meeting with Bob?
Listen to me. Don't ask about a meeting when your man said give us 4. When Eddie said yeah we'll give you 4, they say nah we want 10. Come on, bro. They ain't even make 10 in their life. They just got what?
They're negotiating,
2?
Bro.
They got like 2 million. So again, you got like 2-point-something million to fight Cambosos. You got 1.2 million to fight
Loma. That was mandatory.
Listen to me, champ.
Listen
to me, because sometimes you and that other dude, y'all be on some bullshit. Like y'all drugged up on Tio. You got 1.2 and some change to fight the biggest fight of your career, Loma. Then you made a little bit more than that, whatever the actual number is, 2-point-something to fight Cambosos. But you telling the world that for the email champ, the dude that's a kid, the dude that you'll knock out, you want $10 million. Now, let me put this into perspective before you just ramble off into some bullshit and don't be honest. Crawford just made $6 million to fight Porter, a 2-time welterweight champ with the resume of a Hagler or a Hearns, man. Like, let's be real boxing fans, bro. Why does the world want $10 million to fight Devin Haney, man?
That's what you call negotiating, bro.
Oh, all right. Oh, wow.
Negotiating. They start at 10. They talk it down to 5 or 6. That's negotiating. You know business, man. That's what that's about, bro.
Even if it's 5 or 6. Why for Loma you taking 1.2? For Cambosos you ain't getting 5 or 6? And he was taking you to Australia. He was giving you your biggest fight according to your dad. Come on, stop, man. Y'all be lying for this dude. This shit is
to become great.
Hideous.
You gotta take the low pay sometimes. Just like Floyd took the B-side money from Oscar De La Hoya to become the man. So Teofimo dared to be great and said, "Fuck it, I'll take that 1.2 from Loma and beat Lomachenko, become the man." That's what greats do, exactly.
So now you want 10 million. Now you want 10 million for Devin Haney, your alleged
that's negotiating
fight.
For so-called undisputed, bro. For undisputed, everybody kept calling Devin Haney the champion, right? All right, we're undisputed. We're gonna make it happen. Let's start at 10. Let's talk them down to 6 or 7. That's how it is. That's how negotiating start up high, bro.
The sad part is that when it's all said and done, and don't nobody remember you like people don't remember KO King Randall Bailey. People don't remember so many fighters that you can mention right now because you know more history than me. When it's all said and done, and nobody remembers Tio, the history books will never lie. He was never undisputed.
They're going to remember Tio. But
he was never undisputed. But he was never undisputed. When the history books close and they reopen for someone to read them, it's never going to read undisputed Teofimo Lopez.
But his career is not over
but
yet.
that's okay. But
he's about to create a legacy.
I'm just saying, YouTube will still be around. Video information will still be around, and people will know the story that he never undisputed.
He was the most hated on fighter of this generation, bro. He was undisputed. Jose Sulaiman even said it, bro. Wow. Mauricio Sulaiman.
Mauricio.
You see how Cambosos beat?
I gotta go, man. I gotta go. That's why I like Cambosos, man. Different energy. He like Bob. Don't nobody care. Ain't nobody coming to see Haney or Loma. Out here capping, talking about Loma's your biggest fight. Bruh, this ain't about you. It's about me. You know what I mean? But you know, people be drugged up off they favorite fighter, man. Drugged up off their favorite fighter. Hawk in Maryland, what up?
Yo, what's up, Ness?
What's goody?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, my brother. Hey, I'm kind of I'm a street dude, bro. So all of the stuff with Gary Russell Jr., bro, it's kind of wild. You know, those people was on him like that. You know how he talk about Al and how he talk about Floyd, and you know he fighting once a year, and he barking. You know, talking about Tank, all these different fighters. You know, and then you know everybody's congratulating him for his performance out there with one
the
hand.
Fix is in. You saying the fix is in.
No. I'm saying he out there. Everybody congratulating him fighting out there with one hand. You know what I'm saying? But this is how I feel. He could have did that one-handed. Put it like this. I got to shout out Jay-Z first because everybody is shouting out the one that got shot. I shout out the one that did the shooting. Gary got shot because he didn't bring all of his tools to the gunfight. He come out there unprepared. In my opinion, he should have canceled the fight if he knew 2 weeks ago. Or, since he known all of his career and he fights once a year, he should have got a shoulder fix before he even came. But he, you know, the way he talk about everybody and everything, he knew those people was out for him. So you go to sign your contract and you go fight this dude unprepared, one hand. That looks cute, okay? But do that in the gym on IG. Show us that on IG. Show us that on the YouTube page. You in the gym, you fighting the dude with one hand. But not on Saturday night when we sit down to watch you fight for your title. No, you come all the way best you can at 100% best you can. Don't do that. I thought that you know, he could have for somebody who don't fight, he shouldn't be able to injury. And then how did he pass? Don't they got some kind of don't you got to pass some kind of physical? How you can't even lift your arm four rounds into the fight? No, I just, you know, I in my opinion, it was all nice. He did outbox the dude. He's looking whatever, but do that on your own time, man. Do that one-handed stuff, but don't come to the fight already knowing you got one arm on national TV fighting for your title while your fans. He think he did something for his fans, but he didn't because he showed up unprepared for a fight, and we congratulate him for doing what he did. But he ain't had to do it. He could have postponed it, fought the fight the right way, especially knowing they out to take the titles from him anyway, because he's holding the belt. They say he's the longest reigning champion, but he fight once a year. It's like a holiday to see this dude fight. And he is good. But, you know, 2 years that went past, COVID, all that.
A holiday.
He should have had his arm fixed by now, bro. He should have had his arm fixed by now. That should even have came up. But since it did 2 weeks ago, he should have counseled it 2 weeks ago. We would have understood better than watching.
Yeah, but they would have stripped him. They would have stripped him.
And lose his belt.
They would have stripped him, maybe.
Well, they just did it. They just did it.
Yeah, but at least
that's what they did. He gave him the because he sure won the fight.
But at least he went out with a fighting chance. But you know what I'm saying? If you pull out, they just stripping you. Even though I don't get it, how he couldn't get an extension due to the medical injury. Like, that's fucking crazy. But it's like you said, man, they wanted him out, man. They wanted him out. They got him out. It's that simple, man. They wanted him out. They got him out.
I'm in the ocean. You say you the big fish. I'm looking for you.
Maybe he'll spins, get his tail out his butt, and he'll fight me.
You are watching a master at work.
Target practice, baby. When I stop him, y'all gonna say he was too weak.
Oh, big in the motherfucker, man. We ain't gonna be able to fire your punk ass out.
But you wanna bet? You can bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million. I'll break your fucking neck.
J-Mac, New Orleans.
Don't like what I said, nigga? Do something fucking about it.
One of the best finishers in the game. Give me the towel. Give me the towel.
SDS Promotions.
Get ready for the back attack.
Yo.
Hey, what up, Ness?
What up? What up? What up?
Who else on here?
I mean,
All right, what up? I mean, hey, shout out to SDS promotion with the hot new intro. As far as the fight, I didn't even watch it last night. I didn't get to it. Basketball season picking up, so I've been more focused into that. I did hear Gary lost, and that injury that Mr. Chin reported seemed like it was pretty accurate. But I'm not sad for Gary. I mean, I think Gary was long in the tooth. I think it was time for him to have a seat, go sit down somewhere. Did a lot of more talking than fighting, and it's time for that division to get shaken up. I did hear just I forget his name, the caller on here. I respect his calls.
Hawk.
He's Hawk, yeah, Hawk in Maryland, speaking on that it was time for him to give the belt up, and I think it was time, man. Like, this dude don't fight nobody. He won't sit around and talk. All these imaginations about going up to 147, ducking Devin Haney, and just multiple things. And we don't need dudes like that in this sport. I don't give a shit who you are. As far as Devin calling him a bum, calling an opponent he lost to a bum, that was a little crazy. But I guess Devin just felt like, that was his energy for Gary. It was more, I think it was more towards Gary than actually insulting the fighter, Mark, or the Filipino. I think it was just pretty much more attacking Gary loss and everything he felt from and all that. I miss anything else?
I mean, nah, pretty much just this weekend's fights. We got a couple news in those, but nothing serious.
But that's it, man. Shit. That's it. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.
All right. See you in the AM, champ.
Salute, brother.
So Big Fish Vega trying you yet again. Once you saying I ain't get to you. No Big Fish. So there was some things we didn't touch on here. What we got? Bam. So the Gary Antuanne Russell versus Viktor Postol, we briefly brushed on that. That's a nice fight for him, man. This is gonna make me. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I ever watched this kid like that. It's gonna be the first time. I used to verbalize my motto a little bit more in the past, but I've gotten busy with other shit. But like, that's really always been my motto. I know you know because you've been listening for a while. Like, I'm not watching you till I gotta watch you. You fighting Viktor Postol, I gotta watch you. I don't know who Gary Antuanne Russell has been fighting before then. He's been living off his brother's name, being real, in my opinion.
Nah, and let me help you out and pull up the box records. I got it
out right now.
Now there was a fight that he just fought in. I think it ended in some sort of weird technical draw, some sort of shit.
So is it not this one, Gary Antuanne Russell?
Yeah, it's him.
The Southpaw?
I don't know if he's a Southpaw or not, but I know it's Gary Antuanne because he's been fighting on most of the PBC undercards.
Wait. I got Gary Antuanne. Let me see if this is different. Yeah, this say Antuanne. Yeah, I don't know, because it's a different face coming out. I thought it was the other dude.
Gary Antuanne Russell.
Antuanne Russell. I thought it was Antoine. What in the fridge? What in the refrigerator? Let me see if I could get a picture from the internet other than BoxRec. I'm sorry, but go on.
No, I'm just saying he's been in a couple decent fights. I think he might have been in a couple 10-rounders. The last couple fights, I think I've seen him in 10-rounders. So, he seems like he's moving in a good direction, and he boxes good. I mean, the only thing reminding me of Gary
Santiago, is that the fight? Because it wasn't. He don't got no draws. That's why I'm wondering. And he is at 140. His last fight was at 140.
So I just could be mistaken something else, but Giovanni Santiago kid.
So you can keep talking, but just look at the YouTube, and I'm gonna show you why I'm having an issue, because this is one face that's coming up for Gary Russell, and then the article, it's this face, and they look two different people. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like 8 of them, and they all the Gary Russell. The only thing different is their middle name. So, you know what I mean? They could have just got the wrong photo of the wrong Gary Russell.
I don't know, but I mean, again, if we going off of this box rec, he ain't got nobody on here that I even know, bruh. And I'm supposed to know somebody. Maybe Marcos Mojica, and I promise you, that better not be my man from Twitter. Oh no, he old from Nicaragua. I don't know, bruh. I don't know. I mean, I don't know these fighters. This is why I didn't watch him. Promise you. How many fights he got? 14 fights, 14 KOs. We talking about the same dude?
Yeah.
Bruh, he ain't fight anyone I know.
And he's in there against Postol, you know,
Holy
durable.
Shit, bro. I mean, I don't know none of these dudes. Like, Josh Ross, Jesus Lili, Larry Yanez, Keeson Freeman, Andrew Rogers, Wilmer Rodriguez, Jose Arturo Escovedo. Maybe I know him. And only because of the last. Oh, he don't even got a picture on BoxRec. And he's not Brazilian. He's Mexican, so it's definitely not him. Bruh. Who are these people? Like, Robert. Is this? No, it's not even him either. This is what I'm saying. I thought Robert Alamanasa was Robert Garcia that Margarito fought. It's not even, bro. I don't know, bro. Larry, look at these names, bro.
Milk Carton. All of them guys.
My man got 4 straight losses, bro. Like, I don't know. That's a big step up. You been watching him. Is he boots like or something? Oh,
not to me.
They saying I'm a hater because do I gotta screen share these fucking names? What is going on with y'all? Like, y'all know I've been at least doing this for 12 years, right? So like, even if you don't want to believe I watch boxing, at least I've been watching for the last 12. Like, I should know someone on the 14-0 prospects, right? I know people on Berlanga's resume. We know Steve Rose. We know the 2 last dudes that he just fought, Damon Nicholson and all that. Like, we know those names. Like, who the fuck are these dudes? I'm not trying to play this dude out. I'm just keeping it G. Like, I don't know these names.
You don't know Giovanni Santiago?
I'm going to click on it, but off name, no. Maybe face. Maybe face. Is that nickname Boca Chica maybe? Right? I don't know. Listen, he not even Dominican. He Puerto Rican, man. Who the fuck is Giovanni? Oh, he lost to Adrian Broner. When was that? In Mohegan's Sun. Is this the real Adrian Broner? When the fuck he fought?
He's getting the real Adrian Broner.
So Giovanni fought Broner's last fight? I ain't even watched that. You knew that?
Yeah. No, well, and that's what I kept saying. His last opponent, you know, that's why I told you pull up the box rec. Now, remember Broner's last fight? Everybody was like, yo, Broner lost.
Yeah.
This was the guy that, you know what I'm saying, gave Broner a hard time. So I guess off of this fight, they're giving him Viktor Postol.
And it ain't off that only. Is also because he got a couple wins off boots in the amateurs. Dude's just trippy with that shit. Listen, Danny got a few wins on Crawford in the amateurs. Mikey got a win on Crawford in the amateur. Ain't nobody picking them dudes to beat Crawford, man. Stop with this amateur win shit bullshit. When we in the pros, we in the pros, and nobody knows what's going down in them pros, man. Get up out of here with that garbage. But they saying Gary Russell, this Russell versus Postol, February 26th on Showtime, and it should be the undercard of Chris Colbert versus Robert Gutierrez on Showtime at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. So this is happening in a few days, fellas. Like, literally 33 days from now.
That's fire though.
That's crazy. What you think?
Yo,
You watched them. You watched them. I ain't watch him. You got to tell the community. Is he gonna beat Viktor Postol?
Listen. I don't know. Is Postol shot? Does he got a drinking problem? Is he broke? Now listen, I'm asking. Don't take this as any sort of fact. What I'm saying is, off of that, his last win, I couldn't tell you that that's Viktor Postol ready, but Postol's durable, and maybe they want to see if he can go rounds against a boxer. Because they know Postol is not going to...
Postol ain't fought since his loss to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, so...
But that was a majority decision. That was a majority... Postol's durable, man. Postol's not no bum. I mean, not even Josh Taylor big ass knocked him out. Crawford didn't knock him out. Like, they out here wilding. Like, this kid must have some skill. He better have skills to rely on because he obviously may not, you know, because at this age, maybe, you know, Postol finally lays down because he's inactive and old. But at this stage, he still hasn't been stopped by punchers.
Yeah, again, unless they want him to go some rounds, you know what I'm saying? Unless they know Postol going to give him a test and see, is his power real? That he should be able to put down Postol at his age coming off a layoff. Maybe that's what they think. Or they're going to say, you know, does he have an IQ? What does he do against an experienced fighter, championship level? I'm not saying, you know, they're moving him fast because he's 14-0, but this is a big jump right here.
Huge jump.
And maybe they want to move him fast.
Huge jump, yo. But don't get me wrong. They probably seen that Lundy fight. I remember Lundy telling me he felt he beat Postol back then when he had to fly out to Ukraine. And, you know, I don't know. But, again, that would be crazy to, like, think 20 years ago when Postol's had a plethora of experience since then with elite-level fighters. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. And you know, no disrespect to Gary, but this is when I watch. You doing something that, you know, you got to earn my time, man. Like, yeah, I'm all about giving prospects shine and all that, but, like, he didn't need me. You know, he had his family and Al to push that name out there. Now he's got to prove that he can stand on his own too and not just off that name, because this is a real fight. But Viktor is coming off a long layoff, and he's 38 years old. You know, it can be the right time. However, he is 5'11", always in nice shape. But he still could be a little rusty. I don't know, man. But both Dan Rayfield and Michael Coppinger are reporting this. They're reporting that Gary Russell has agreed to the fight, so it should be on that Gutierrez versus Colbert undercard. And again, Russell is a 2016 Olympian. And he's got, you know, I don't know these names. I guess the biggest win would be Giovanni because he lost to Broner. Crazy, yo. Crazy. But I got Payne in the building. James, that is.
James Payne is my name, partner, how about you? Standing on my property and I'm gonna see about you. If I come out on my porch, I see you chilling in your wheel. Boy, I hope you know somebody, better be waiting on the bitch. James Payne, baby, see me pissing on the post. If we're playing basketball, you might see me in the post.
Yo, TBV, what's poppin'? How the audio sound?
Straight.
All right, late night action in the truck on the highway with my little boy in the back listening to some TVV, some boxing talk, man. What y'all talking about? Y'all still talking about Gary? Nah, man, not right now. I just got done with a side job and I took my little boy with me so he could see how we hustle and how we grind on some grown man. But he only 4 years old, but I brought him with me because I've been, you know, grinding my 9 to 5. Then afterwards, I've been doing a lot of OT. Like I just started a handyman service on the side. So I've been working some handyman jobs in the nights here recently. And I had my little boy with me so I can get some father-son time. And at the same time, you can see how daddy make it happen when he ain't making it happen. You know what I'm saying? So he seen me, he was just with me as I was doing one of these little jobs here in the night. Now I'm taking him back to the crib. Listening to some TBV. We got an hour drive back to the crib. So we still talking about Gary, upset Russell. What we talking about? Chris Colbert. What we got going?
We talking about all that.
Oh, man. So, man, yo, 2021, 2022, man, when you talk about year of upsets, man, if we just put $10 on some of these upsets just just for fun, just for shits and giggles, man, we probably be counting hundreds right about now, man. I didn't see that coming, even though Gary had one arm. He was the one-arm bandit, man. But they just wasn't feeling him, man. As I was listening to the live fight chat when y'all was doing it, it just seemed like they was just ready to get up off of Gary, man. Move on. I guess it's the activity. I really don't know what it was, man. But it was a sad occasion to see Gary, man, the king of Cal, go down like that to this Pacquiao cookie cut imitation, you know what I'm saying? The store brand version of Pacquiao, man. It was a terrible sight. But I mean, maybe this will free him up for bigger, better things once he gets this shoulder recuperated and everything like that. What's the next big fight coming up on the docket though? Is it the Thurman and the Barrios, or is it this Colbert card I'm hearing y'all talk about? What's coming up next?
Next would be Thurman the 5th.
On the 5th, man, Keith Thurman, he coming back. We done already talked about this, though, man. One time, need to go ahead and get back to action, man. Go ahead and restore that namesake of one time. If Tank can do this dude in 11, then we need Keith to do this dude better than that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make a heavyweight comparison because these guys are not heavyweights, but I'm just going to say it's kind of similar to when AJ had that action with Dominic. Dominic went a few rounds with AJ. Then Wilder got his opportunity with Dominic and did him in the first round. And AJ was so shook off of that performance that he went trying to outdo Wilder and got done in by Andy. So I'm not saying that it's tit for tat with this, but we've seen what Tank has done with bigger men. He takes bigger men and he makes their heads spin like a bottle cap. You know what I mean? So one time is a true welterweight. He's been welterweight royalty for many, many, many moons, man. And this is his get back up, supposedly. So you got a guy that's not a welterweight coming up to welterweight to campaign for this fight. So this is Keith's opportunity, man, to show us what he's working with. Thanks to Ness Heyman, we got the inside scoop that Thurman been fighting middleweight, super middles, looking good. So he's used to fighting big men, so he should have that pop. Should have that working for him. So hopefully he'll go ahead and lace him up on this Barrios cat, get him out of here in about 8 or less. You know what I mean? Make it a quick night so we can go ahead and get the rumor mill started about who Keith's next opponent will be. That'll be a good look. What's some of the action on that undercard too, man?
Which undercard for the Colbert fight? That's the first fight announced. Is Gary Russell versus Viktor Postol, but I don't know how to pronounce his middle name.
This on the Thurman undercard, or this on the Colbert
Thurman undercard is the return of Barrios and the return of Leo Santa Cruz.
Leo, who Leo got? He got a tune up in this, a little tuna fish sandwich.
Yeah, somebody we don't know.
Well, I mean, hey, that was another Tank victim. So it's saying like this is the Tank victim redemption card. Okay, what's up, man? Yeah. So hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's good to see PVC get, find a way to still get these guys some checks, man, so they can still eat, get fed. That's a good look. I'm ready to see Chris Colbert get in there again, you know what I'm saying, and get his action going on. And, man, shout out to TBV, man. Thanks for giving me some airtime. I ain't really got too much to talk about. It's just boxing. So, talk some boxing. We got a card this weekend in Oak Grove, Kentucky. Coming up this weekend. We got Louis Galaza fighting on that card. We got Rodell should be fighting on that card. We got DeMontez Duncan fighting on that card. We got Eric Draper fighting on that card. So we got some fights coming up this weekend in Oak Grove, Kentucky. So if anybody is in the Middle Tennessee or the Kentucky area, come on out to Oak Grove, Kentucky, man. The casino in Oak Grove. We're gonna have some fights. Come on out. TriStar Boxing in full effect. James Payne Lethal will be in the building. So come on out and see some fights and have a good time and play some slots where you at it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
James, you the man.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Ness, you wildin'.
What?
Shout out to James Payne. Yo, Makabu fighting next weekend, man. You don't want to see that history?
I mean, Bo and Bam are going to that. Who at? Oh, you know what? I got somebody going to that. Shout out Daniel Alvarez. He want to go. We applied for that. And I applied for Brandon for the Pulev one in Houston.
See?
That little, what is it? The triad. That's
yeah,
crazy.
what's a triad? Triangle, triad.
Triad. It's crazy, bro. You know, I went to Miami and I seen the triangle ring with the ropes. I was at one of those bare knuckle fights where they fight in a triangle ring with ropes. It was crazy. It was brutal, bro. Brutal. Wow. But yeah, man. Looks like we are pretty much done on the callers. Let me get through these last couple of, so we got Tay Jones, who obviously is a Bomb Squad member, comes out and says that World Boxing News is lying and that Wilder is not coming back, that none of those names are true, and, that the comeback isn't happening. So, I know this morning we had the Wilder Jared Anderson show and the possibility of that. So I just wanted to come back to this because, man, there will be no comeback according to Tay Jones. I guess they've retired. So yeah. I don't know how you feel about that. You think you think Tay has the authority and the retirement is real, or was Tay just lashing out at the fact that they were naming possible opponents?
And so one never knows with the Wilder camp in that, things come out, silence is golden, then it becomes deafening, then you lead to speculation. And so we don't know, but we do know that Tay definitely seems to be, an authority over in the Wilder camp as far as speaking to the media, addressing shit on social media. Is his word solid enough? I don't know, because they don't refute many things. And then if anyone does, it's often Malik Scott eventually. So if Tay says it,
well, the article states that they have a great relationship with Shelly Finkel and Malik Scott, and they didn't understand why Tay got at him. But look, I mean, again, it's just another retirement-like story, which is unfortunate to even be hearing.
Yeah, if Wilder retires, though, man, I'm gonna be disappointed. But I think, shit, man, if he don't want to fight, what else is he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Ride off into the sunset, ride his tractor, shoot his guns off, play the piano, all that fly shit he doing. But if his heart ain't in it, man, then ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, you definitely can't do this sport if you don't want to do this sport. This is definitely a sport that must be done because you want to do it. And once you lose that love of doing it, you're better off getting out because it's a sport that requires you to be 100% as far as your body. But I got Mr. Steal Your Chin, who was very accurate with his information that Gary Russell would have a shoulder injury, who says, Tank soundbite for B More. water gun emoji, fist emoji. You already know.
And when you in the trenches, you know, it's cool to shoot them bullets. How you gonna defend yourself when them bullets coming back?
Go ahead, feel like a brick, a bird, bad little bitch.
I mean, you know, I like that he is repping for his city, and you know he fucks with Tank, but I keep getting the feeling that like that because Gary lost, you know, you playing that soundbite like, you know, it's cool to talk, but now you was in them trenches, them bullets came back, you got a loss. Just like Devin, who we ain't talk about. You know, Devin called Mark a bum. You know, he said, damn, Gary lost to a bum. And I just feel like, you know, this doesn't free Tank from fights. Like his fans, it's like, oh yeah, Gary lost. That's it. We ain't got to fight Gary. Like, and in a way, I understand that is true because he lost his status. But we got to stop acting like a loss means the fight is done. Like, I still want Gary Tank. Like, I'm a different person anyway. I didn't see Gary lose. I looked at Gary and was impressed. So I really want Gary Tank. I want to see can he slip and motherfucking pivot on Tank, big right hooking ass. Like, can you do that with him? You understand? So I don't know. You know, this is the second time he made me play the soundbite, and I just wanted to be clear that like, just because Gary loss don't mean Tank is clear from that fight. Like, this man still talked hella shit about you. Like,
yeah,
you know
but I think they would certainly have to make it make sense. And then, you know, this is when they go back. We talked a little bit yesterday. The National Harbor, you know what I'm saying? There's a great rivalry.
That's a little small though. That I've been there. Remember, Loma only could fit like 2,800 in that low ass DC Harbor shit.
Well, where would they go? I know it's a good rivalry.
They got to go where the DC Armory. I think where Lamont Peterson and Khan happened. You know, and there's a bigger arena there too. But I got Best Dad Ever. He'll let us know. He's from out there. No, but I ain't cutting you off. I'm saying when you done, I'll go.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, like if they can make it make sense, because the rivalry is there, Baltimore and you know, the DC, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like one loss. I like what OTKP saying. Fans want to eliminate guys for after one L, and it's just L, bro. Like Porter had 3, and I still loved him. Porter had 2, and I wanted him in that Crawford fight. I was happy with that fight. I bought that fight. I didn't steal it. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the fans of men. Those ain't the fans of boxing.
Yeah. Because, you know, loss ain't shit. Again, you know, how many did Hagler, Leonard, you know, Ali, Frazier, Foreman? Like, these are legends. These are Hall of Famers.
Tyson,
like,
Lewis.
Yeah, like, dudes is crazy, man. Dudes is crazy. You know, there's only one dude that started undefeated and ended undefeated. Let's get it real. Right. I did speak to Sabril Matias, and I'm talking to Chris Colbert right now, man. He didn't, you know, they don't fuck with this Skype shit. I threw him the number to see if he want to call in, but we in touch with Matias. We about to start getting this shit popping right, man. Best Dad Ever was good.
Yeah, what's up? But look, you ain't about to put that on me. Look, I'm from Baltimore. He from D.C. That's a beef. So best believe I want Tank to put hands on him. And 2, Coach Kenny and Tank, they had bet on the fight last night, and Tank wanted Gary to win, and he bet. But I mean, since Gary lost, Tank lost his bet. So that's that. But,
Tank put money on Gary?
Yeah, he bet Coach Kenny, and Coach he lost. So like I said, like I told Batman when I was talking to Batman, at the end of the day, I ain't want Magsayo to give Gary a second loss. I wanted Tank to do it, and I keep telling him, I'm going to hold the pillow. I'm going to be right there with that pillow so Gary can lay down when he get put to sleep. It's just that simple. That's a Baltimore DC beef. Just like with the Tyson Farmer. we wanted that badly. So that's different. We want that. I'm telling you, the streets in Baltimore, we want that. Promise you. But that's my call.
For sure.
Shout out to Best Dad ever.
Chris driving, man. I told him let's do it another time. His service might not be good, but you know Chris might still jump on. But I'm gonna try and rap before that because I don't like when I can't really hear you. You all chopping up this shit. That ain't what it is. Richard D says, shout out to Stephen Big Shot Shaw. Hashtag the one they slept on. I mean, I don't know that ain't nobody sleeping on him, man. It's more about he would lose the Bella, man, and he can't get them opportunities. You know? I remember he had a little decent fight that was gonna happen, and it was gonna happen on that Freddie Roach shit that was in his backyard. Remember what was the name of that? Ring City Fights. And
yeah.
And the money wasn't right, man. You want this dude to hypothetically fight a Cassius Chaney undefeated at the time, and Stephen Big Shot Shaw is undefeated at the time, and the budget is $25,000. And it's like, we ain't even splitting 12-5 each. We got managers and promoters. Like, man, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here, man. These dudes, I mean, listen, the business of this game is crazy, man. But when you can sell tickets, it's different because you get your little percentage off them ticket sales. You know, you got your little ticket blocks. You know, it's different. Esteban, what up?
Hey, what's up, Nestor?
Chilling.
I'm just calling in to show my respects to TBV, the boxing voice.
Shout out, respect.
This is, yeah. King, I mean, you in the building?
Yes, sir. What's good? Esteban was good.
What's up, King? I mean, I appreciate you coming on the show, being the new co-host and everything like that. What else I want to say? Like, Gary Russell, you know, I know everybody talking about it. Gary Russell won that fight. Neither fighter landed cleaning up blows. There was no shots we really can remember that was significant. The only thing I remember that was significant was the way Gary Russell was maneuvering out of all the punches. That was the most memorable thing of the fight. And I would say 9-3, 8-4. That's a 9-3, 8-4. That's what I had on the scorecards. And it's a shame what happened to Gary Russell, man. It's not fair. But thank you for just having the show and talking about what Gary Russell did. I like the way he came out to the African music and the African war drums. And he gonna do it again. He gonna be back out there. And this is Esteban from Oregon with Love. And everybody keep watching the show and keep calling in. Nestor, keep doing your thing. And thank you.
Salute, brother.
Cooking up some shit in the back, you heard? About to go get this exclusive with Benavidez. You know he training Pacheco now, right?
Ah.
Diego Pacheco's in camp with him now. His first training camp with him. Yeah, it's going down in the playground. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. That's all right, because he going to get that sparring with Jose. Jose's not in camp, but Benavidez is already in camp. Is there any rumors of his fight? I heard a name. No. You got a name? You get out of here. There ain't no name out there?
Nah.
My back call brothers at, man. Ain't no name. Let me see the chat. Anybody heard any rumor name? I feel like I've heard this name on this show already, but I heard a name the other day, yo. And that name is David Lemieux. You sure you never heard that?
You Benavidez?
Lemieux Benavidez. What you think?
I'm
about to Google David. Let me see when he last fought. Like, he gonna get stopped too. He gonna get stopped. He number two.
He gonna get stopped.
He number 2 in the WBO. He number 1 in the WBC. Excuse me, number 2 in the WBC. How is Lemieux ranked this high? and he is number 5 in the WBA. How they gonna make this fight? This is gonna be an expensive fight. He ranked high, bruh. He even number 6 in the ring. Who he beat to be that high?
Nobody.
Who he beat to be that high, bruh?
Remember, he always be in Canada. He be fighting in Canada, you know. So his fight schedule is, you know, we might not be as aware of it.
I'm Googling him. Let's see what he got.
Damn, Benavidez Lemieux.
He ain't fought since June of 2021 versus David Zagera, and that was in Mexico. Before that, he fought Fancy Natutu, common opponent with Marcus Brown. He stopped him. Let's see if Francis, if he stopped him in 5. Brown, did it in 1. Okay. Before that, he fought Bursak, and that was in Montreal, and that went 10 split decision. Before that, he stopped Gary O'Sullivan. So he racked up what? 5 wins total. Biggest names being Gary O'Sullivan and Francis Natutu, and somehow he got ranked. I guess that'll do it for you, you know? He only lost to Billy Joe and Gennady, Josine Alcim, and Michael Antonio Rubio. But the Billy Joe and the Gennady losses are far and in between, right? Like 2 years apart. He lost to Gennady, and then he racked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins, lost to Billy Joe, and he's racked up another 5. And he beat Glenn Tapia in that run, you know, where he beat Tapia, Stevens, and then lost to Billy Joe. I spoke to Tapia today. He's back. He caught a knockout win in Dubai.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Glenn Tapia's back. Passaic, New Jersey.
Let me show you how small this world is, bro. The dude, I had a guy that was a videographer for me in the Texas area. And he got with me and he's like, yo, man, I just want to kind of intern because, you know, I train fighters and I want to get my name out there so eventually I could do bigger camps. We do work. He does excellent work. You know him. Everybody knows him and they like his work. He actually is the one that did the Texas Border Wars where he did the recap. I think I even fought in it. It's called Cast Films. It comes up like black and green. And it was phenomenal work. You know, he did the sit-down interviews with us with the cow behind us. It was dope. And, bro, fast forward, you know, he's training fighters. He wanted to get a few fighters in Border Wars. But now he's literally training Glenn Tapia. And I get it. You know, some dickhead that's never done nothing is saying to himself, oh, well, Glenn's, you know, he's seen better days. He's passed it, whatever. But, again, for this guy, this is the biggest name he's trained. You know, he just trained them to a knockout win in Dubai. Again, he started with me as a videographer. He just went to Dubai. Little goals, man. Small world, this boxing world, boy. And I trained in Glenn's gym for 3 years, man. It's just insane, bro. He FaceTimed me right away when I was talking to my guy Carlos. He's like, yo, I'm here with Glenn. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I trained in that gym for 3 years. Tell him I said what up. He wanted a FaceTime and shit. And then he was just telling me like, yo, big things coming. So I guess that win reinvigorated him, you know. But, yo, he's the Jersey boy, man. We going to ride till the wheels fall off. It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Definitely. Shout out to Glenn Tapia. We riding.
Shout out to Tapia, man. He had a big gym with a lot of youth, man. Villanecki came out of that gym. You know, a lot of kids, man. Rajan Chance fought out that gym. He got the win. Shout out to Rajan Chance. He actually avenged that arguable, you know, loss. It ended up in a draw, but you know, I know Elon, where was it? Rodriguez or De Jesus thought he won the first one, but looks like Chance did his thing in the second one, huh?
Definitely. He definitely avenged that one. You know, that's Jersey product right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, they starting to bubble, man. Like next is Carrington. That kid was a kid when I met him. It's insane. I hate that I'm away. I gotta get back to my roots, man. Cause like I'm out here. It's not as easy. You know, tri-state, Philly, all that is right there. So I'm gonna be out of tune pretty soon. I'm gonna be out of touch with the up and comers. I'm gonna have to start going to this amateur scene out here. I did go to an amateur fight in Tampa last year. It was a beautiful facility. I fell in love with that facility. Ever since I went there, I want my own gym. Signature Punch is an amazing gym, bro. It's amazing. But okay.
Something cooking.
Yeah, Cobra said he's back in Miami tomorrow, so I told him to hit me because I might be flying out somewhere Wednesday, so I just need to got to get shit together. I'm trying to turn it up, man. 2022, I got to do better than 2021, and it's going to be hard to top that. It was a good year. 4 border wars, you know, just so many things, man, and it's going to be hard. I said Villanecki. Yo, Brandon is the fucking grammar police. Won't you beat it, bruh? We got to get you a mic, man. You should be a true producer. You need to be like the voice of God, man, and be in the background, constantly, you know, verbalizing the right pronunciations and fact checking. You want to be in the chat, chatting it up and shit.
Straightening that out.
Yeah, man. But Nets GTO, Instagram, man, Twitter, man. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. In the future, present, past is going to help with the visibility. You already know. We trying to grow. I'm trying to get to 131,000. It's the slow grind, but ain't no grind better than the slow grind. So we chugging. Don't forget to tell a friend to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Since Saturday night, we've done a live fight chat. We've done a morning show this morning, and now a 7 p.m. Sunday night show. So if you haven't caught it, check it out everywhere the podcast can be found. iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and right here at youtube.com/The Boxing Voice, even at theboxingvoice.com. Every episode available, but only at patreon.com/The Boxing Voice can you find it without any ads whatsoever. Nothing to interrupt you when you want to listen to TBV during your work and commute. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Still grinding. I mean, it's always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining me. Where can they find you for them championship rounds?
No doubt. King Amin Investix 1 on YouTube for them championship rounds. Also, find me on Instagram, King Amin Investix 1, for all your news and notes. The blog is up weekly. You find out what I think about fighters, what I think about their performance, and what I know about what's going on. Also, I'm on Twitter now, spreading the news, spreading the word of TBV. Check me out, King Amin 1 on Twitter. Yeah.